Hey, Ben Norman here, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my workflow for how to create a custom YouTube thumbnail. You want to make sure that your thumbnails stand out, capture people's attention, and immediately indicate to them that they are in the right place and they need to click on your video, not any of the others. The thumbnail is such a key, important part to get right, and so many people go to the time and the lengths to create amazing YouTube videos and then don't bother with a thumbnail. Or if they do use a thumbnail, it's just basically a screen grab of part of the video with a little bit of text overlaid. And in today's like YouTube world, that is just not enough. You have got to stand out. You have got to demand. You've got to grab that person's attention and earn that click. And the thumbnail is how that is done. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through my workflow of exactly how I create thumbnails that people want to click on. So before we jump into it, I'd love to know, are you using custom thumbnails or are you just using a freeze frame of the video? Let me know. Using custom thumbnails, yes or no? Let me know in the comments below, and let's jump into the workflow. Okay, so we are going to create a cool thumbnail for one of our YouTube videos. So for this, I do all my design work in Canva. You can get it totally for free. Just click the link in the description of this video. They do a pro version as well, which I use, which is not very much at all. I think it's about $100 and something a year for full use. It's absolutely awesome. I'll show you some of the features as we do this. So I'll go down to my recents because this is part of many videos in the YouTube playlist that I'm doing. So these are previous thumbnails that I've done. So there's two ways that we can do this. I'll show you both. If you've already got a template, one of the easiest ways to do is just to come and copy that page, and you are able to take the, to basically tweak the assets. You can remove certain things, change certain things. So, you know, this is an overlay. I can take that away, delete the background. We can then add in a new background into here. So I'm going to show you just how to kind of tweak this one, a bit of a hybrid between the two. So if you were coming in and building out a brand new thumbnail, you could. From Canva, it's really easy because even when you're in the home screen, you can basically just search for YouTube, and you know that you can obviously see here, like we want a video ad, a YouTube thumbnail, sorry. So we want that. You could create your channel art, whatever, from a bunch of templates. But if you were to come in here from scratch, you could click YouTube thumbnail. You can select a template to start with and customize it as you wish, or you can just create your own from blank. Now, I've got, like I said, mine already, which is some text here. For this, I will show you with a brand new one. So first off, we're going to want to put our text in. So I'm going to hit the text box and I'm going to add in a heading, and I'm going to paste in, just to start with, what my text is that I'm working with. This always starts off as the title of my video. So the one we're going to be doing is how I edit my YouTube videos in Final Cut Pro. So there is that. Just want to make this a little bit smaller for now, just so I've got a bit more space. Right, so I've got the main text. We can change that quite easily by coming into here. I'm going to select the text that I have been using, which is gaggling, as I think that just gives quite a nice effect. I'm going to also break this down, as you can see in the recent videos I've kept kind of a similar theme here. So I'm going to basically just edit out the text quickly so it follows a similar suit. And the easiest way to do that is just to duplicate the element here. So if we click on the text and come up and click the duplicate button up here, we can do that, and that way I can say, I'll probably put how to, so it's less about me. So I've got the how to text that will go somewhere up the top. Edit, how to edit YouTube videos. And then I will probably duplicate that one more time by hitting the duplicate button. So, and then what we've got is the option. Most people know that Final Cut Pro is also FCPX, so just abbreviated. So if we are cramped for space, we can already drop that down. So we've got our kind of text elements that we are going to want to use. If you see how I've done it previous with the overlays, I'm going to try and keep it on like a similar trend. However, because this is editing, I kind of want the background to be different. I'll probably use a glossy overlay, and also you want the text to be quite big. The thing you got to remember is this will be a YouTube thumbnail, so it's going to be quite small. So one cool way of doing this is if you drop it down to 25% and make the image quite small when you're designing it, because this will represent more what somebody is going to actually see when they're on YouTube. So we've got our text elements. We're going to need to get a background. So for that, we can skip over to a free image site. And Unsplash is really good for that. So we're doing one about video editing. So this could be quite good. Like here we've got editing, you know, we've got this, which I think because of the video that we're doing would look quite complicated and would be quite intimidating to a lot of people. We want something that's going to kind of look quite nice visually, but that we can put overlays into the background. So with this, there's a little bit of back and forth, but it's all pretty easy once we've got it. I still quite like, although it was the first one we saw, I quite like that one. I think that's going to work quite well for what we want. So we're going to download that image, and then we're going to jump back into Canva. Don't need that one. So we want to then go into our uploads folder. We're going to want to upload that image into our uploads, and then we're going to want to just wait for it to upload, and then we're going to basically just drag it over in, and we're going to want to set this kind of where we want it. So it might be we make that just a little bit bigger. So you see we're just going to drag it round. You know, we've got the choice. We could basically make it smaller and just pull it around. Okay, so we could sit it like that. It's quite a dark video. One top tip, one thing I do quite a lot is when the video itself, you want the video, you want the image in the background, but especially where you've got the light element, don't want that interfering with your text. You want the text to really stand out and the image to be secondary. One of the ways that I do that is I will go into elements and I will search for a rectangle, but there's one here, look, and I will pull that in, and I will basically make sure that covers the image. And then what I do is I'll go to transparency, and then if you notice, you can just pull the transparency up just a little bit and deaden off that bit of light. So you want to make sure that's like a black, and then like I say, you can play with the transparency, get it exactly how you want, just to deaden off that bit of light, and that can help. So we also want to go into position because we want to send that backwards because we want the text elements in front, and the text elements to match in with the others. I'm going to go with a white for the how-to, and I'm going to go with a red for the main text, and then Final Cut Pro I'm going to go with a white. Now there's a reason that I tend to have my images on the right and the text on the left, and that's because if you notice in YouTube search, a lot of the times all of the bits that pop up are on the right, so it can cover up the text and obstruct it. So by making sure you've got your text and your main content over to the left, you stop that from happening. So here we can kind of just drag this around. So we can also, instead of having YouTube in there as text, we could basically make this bit bigger. So we could have that go across. Final Cut Pro we could put way down here, but again make it a bit bigger so that it's visible. We just want to make sure that all of this stuff is lining up. The good thing with Canva is it kind of snaps to a lot, so that really helps. And then what I'm going to do is pull in a rectangle again and put an element over here so that I can sit behind this in white to match in with the others, and again drop the transparency down. Position, make sure it's behind the text, that helps. And then we can kind of move that around with our cursors if we want to get it really sort of spot on. Then what I would do is I will bring in an image. So for this, I'll go into my uploads again. I will find an image that I've taken before. Now you kind of can look at the image and say, well, hang on, this is a bit, you know, it's very cluttered. And this is one of the most amazing things in Canva. Before this, everyone had to use Photoshop or pay for like online background removal tools. But in here, you just literally click on background remover. One thing I've noticed with the background remover is every now and then it will glitch. It gets confused with what the background is, and it might not remove all of it. And the easiest way with that is to either pick another picture, or you do have to use something like Photoshop, but 99% of the time it's fine. As you can see with this image, it was absolutely fine. However, I'm pointing the wrong way. Again, very easy. I just flip it so that I'm pointing the right way. And also I want to change how the sizing is and the aspect and everything. So I will just sort of move this around a little bit, and I will probably drag it just so that it doesn't look as... And then what I'm also noticing is the person in the background, the figure in the background, editing is not ideal. So I move the overlay out the way so I can click to the background. And then I'm going to drag, so that's just not as clear as what it is. So it hides more behind me. That way it just looks a little bit more subtle. Move me over to there. Now we've got how we edit in Final Cut Pro, and then what I also want to do is use the YouTube logo. Now I've got this in my uploads, but equally if I want to not have to go through my uploads and I've got it there, I can click on it, again hit duplicate and just drag it down into this one. And So, you know, we can do what we want. And then once I've got it like this, I'm really just kind of playing around with visuals. If I want to pop the color a little bit more in this, I make sure it's at the front. I can then hit adjust. I can come into that individual image and just play with the brightness, the saturation, and just get it right. Move the image around, and then it's a case now of I think I've got all of my elements that I want. It's just making sure I'm happy. So I might select both of these, drag them down, and then I might bring this up more just to fit in. I might even just bring that one down on this one. And then, you know, just it's basically playing around with the elements until I've got it how I want. The main thing that I want to achieve is have it visually look nice and also make it very, very clear what this video is about. So, you know, it's about editing videos with Final Cut Pro. So I think really I need to drag all of that up like that. And now I've lost that bit, drag that over, get my element, bring it down. Because I want YouTube in there because the whole series is about YouTube, but I don't think in this one it needs to be as prominent. And if I'm feeling that, you know, it's getting lost, I can put a background behind this. So I could select this dark overlay, remember? And it might be that actually we need to just pull that in a bit. You see as we pull it in, that Final Cut Pro X stands out a lot more. But I think actually what I'm going to do with this is go Final Cut Pro X like that, so that I can make it a lot bigger. And then just make sure that's more in the middle. In fact, I'm going to go even bigger with that, I think, and kind of just fill so that it fits. Ooh, that's trying to snap in. I'm going to move that down a bit, and I'm going to move YouTube right down. And then basically we have got an image here. How to edit videos, Final Cut Pro for YouTube. It's really clear what it is. The image behind it, you can kind of see. I'm still, I think we could probably do better, like even looking at it now with regards to the background. So I think I'm going to just do that quickly while I think about it, because I think there is I just want to make it real clear on the editing. Yeah, okay. And then we need to just drag up that overlay. I just want it clear that we've got the editing screen in there, but we also want to make sure that we've darkened it down quite a lot. So the main things with it, you want it visual, you want to make sure that your text is really standing out and it's clear what the video is about. It needs to look nice and professional. The rectangle thing is a real top tip in my opinion. It really helps you deaden down the colors in the background or make text pop. You can do it with different colors and fade the overlays. Also the background removal tool, like I say, you literally hit on an image, hit effect and remove the background with one click. It is amazing. So to me, Canva is worth it for that. Then all we need to do now, hit download, select the image that we want, which is number 7. It's a PNG. We don't need a transparent background. We're going to download that and we're good to go. So that is how I create my custom YouTube thumbnails. So like I said, I'd love to know whether you're currently using them. Make sure you drop a yes or a no in the comments below. If you've liked this video, let me know by smashing that like button. And if you are new here, make sure you have subscribed and hit the bell notification, because this video is just one in my YouTube series. I'm releasing more over the next coming days, so make sure you have subscribed and hit the bell icon to be notified as soon as I release the next video. Also, if you've missed any of the videos in this series, don't worry. If you go into the description, I'll have linked all of them in there, so you can go back and see any of the ones that you've missed, as I've walked through every stage of the YouTube process. As always, if you've got any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments or drop me a message, and I'll see you in the next video.